Recording now. Okay, so you have taken a look. Well, first of all, introduce yourself, Manga. Tell us how
Um,
old you are and what year in school you are.
I'm 17 years old. I'm going to be a rising senior at Central Catholic High School, and
Woohoo.
my name is Monga Songolo.
Okay, I prefer this view. I like to talk to someone instead of the flash, flash, flash. Yeah. Um, okay. What school are you in?
I go to Central Catholic High School
In Portland.
in Southeast Portland.
Okay. Okay. Yes, I know where that is. All right. So you've taken a look at Screen 360 TV. How
Yeah,
would,
I've taken a glance at it.
uh-huh. Tell me what you think. How would you use it?
I'm not exactly sure right now. Like, I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. I would
Mm.
like to know more from like people who work there.
Ah, well, I work there. I'm the founder. So you can ask me questions. What questions did you have when you looked at it?
Um, well, I don't know if it says it on the website, but what's like the purpose and aim of like 360 TV, Screen 360 TV?
That's a great question. We believe that international films give a viewer an immersive opportunity to engage empathy with people around the world. So through a foreign film, you exchange empathy with the protagonists that you're following. You generate an empathetic reaction to them. And then in the way we show, we sometimes have the filmmaker who can present the film and answer questions afterwards. So then you have an empathetic reaction with the filmmaker. And we also want to have audience members from other places in the world, near and far. Originally, it was classrooms, but we can't work with classrooms now exactly. So it's also engaging empathetically with people who are sharing the film with you. So those are a few of the reasons, and we feel that getting to know people, even at a cursory level, first level, you develop insights and can build on those and build on that knowledge um, in a collaborative way rather than growing through your life. And we think that that will, especially in the times that we're living now, where every child born into the world can potentially influence other children in the world now more than ever before. So we want to guide that connection through a rich way, which is through international films, and it's like a film festival. So, tell me, do you watch many films or any films?
Um, yeah, I haven't had time to watch films, like a lot of films right now, um, or like TV shows in general. But yeah, I watch films. I enjoy watching like comedy. When I watch American films, I enjoy watching like comedy or action films, and then when I do watch international films, it will usually be African, like Nigerian films.
Okay. So
Yeah, that's what I'm familiar with.
tell me what's the difference? What do you feel the difference is for you when you watch an American film and a Nigerian film? Because you have both experiences, right?
Yeah. Obviously, a big difference would be casting. So there's with American films, I feel like they could do a better job with representation and casting. Um, Nigerian films cast if if not maybe some different types of races in there. Um, that's a big difference in which I see myself firsthand. Um, Another difference is I feel like American films could do a better job of encompassing different cultures per se, because I feel like with Nigerian films they do bring in a different language. While it is mostly in English, they do bring in different languages and other things like that. But I do enjoy watching both of them, and both of them have their respective ways in which I like to watch.
Mm, mm. The Nigerian films, you say they're mostly in English, which I have learned, and this is also the case of the um, Academy Award uh, entry from Nigeria that was not allowed because it was in English and that was not considered to be its official language. But English is an official language in Nigeria. My question is, what are some of the other languages that are featured in the Nigerian films you watch?
Igbo, I don't know if you know that language, but Igbo is featured. And then there's other different tribal languages. Um, yeah, and sometimes I'll catch some Swahili in there, but
Hmm.
usually Nigerian tribal language and Igbo.
So, what is the Nigerian tribal language?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm not too much educated on that, but I'll catch it because they will have subtitles on it, and they will say that it was like
Ah,
an-
so there's Igbo. I know there are so many languages in Africa that we don't get to hear. But I think some of the Swahili would be the more um, most spoken one. Is that correct?
not in Nigerian films, but in Africa, yeah, Swahili is a
Mm-hmm.
well known language. Yeah.
And you say
There's
Igbo.
different variations to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I have to do a little more homework on that to understand what regions. I'm looking at Niger actually right now, and putting together a film program, a proposed film program for a city in Niger, and that looks. I hope I get to do that. Um, okay, good. Well, uh, the goal of Screen 360 TV, as I said, is to connect people. So or to give a sensation of an international film festival online while you're sheltering at home, um, is meeting your peers, say in Mexico, and or in Africa. Is 8 hours and 10 hours difference, but it still is possible that you might be able to. Somebody might stay up really late at night in order to talk with you, or you might wake up early in the morning to share a film. Is that something that you would enjoy doing? Is sharing a film with people in different parts of the world? Oh, there we
Yeah,
go.
that, that would be interesting to sit and have some dialogue on different films and things like that. Yeah.
Do you have anything at school like that now?
Um, Not necessarily. Well, we do watch films. We do watch films relating to a subject or a matter of discussion in which we're having, and then we'll create dialogue with it. So kind of in a context.
Mm. What contexts are those that you watch a film at school, and how often, for instance?
Like in history, we'll sometimes watch short films regarding American history or history regarding other different continents or countries.
Mm.
And then as well as language class. So I take French. So we'll also my teacher makes it so that we listen to conversations with French speaking people on video, and then we'll watch short films and videos about the culture in French.
Okay, good. Can you tell me the sources of those films for both history and French? Do you happen to know?
No, I don't know the sources,
How does your
but
teacher present them to you?
um, so it'll just come up in class, like when she class agenda. They'll just tell us that we will be watching that, and we'll know that we're gonna have some sort of dialogue. We also do it in English when we're reading a book or yeah, or
Okay.
watching reading a play.
So would it be projected for the whole class, or would it come up individually on individual screens?
Projected for the whole class.
Okay, cool. How often do you do that? How often do you get to see a film?
I'll probably say once every 2 or 3 months.
Mhm. Okay. So it's kind of once a quarter,
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. Oh, okay. And that's in each class, so the history class might do it once every quarter, and the language class might do it.
Yeah, that's in each class. But some classes we won't do that.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Cool. Well, what about your friends? Would you do you have friends who might enjoy something like Screen 360 TV?
Um, I'm not sure. Um, I think they would love to check it out. Um, but I'm not sure. I would have to ask them. I would have to
Yeah.
ask them.
Well, please do. Show it to them. I'd be interested because then we could also set up um, an evening for you with your friends where you could watch virtually together, and they're generally short films. But we could show you something from our program now, and you could watch together. So you could have a movie date, and just with friends, and then there would be another opportunity when we could bring in um, students similar to your age from other parts of the world.
That would be dope.
Yeah, cool, cool, cool. I like that. Um, that's coming up soon, actually. We're hoping to pilot on the 17th of September. Um, what is your school calendar looking like yet, or do you know?
Um, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to begin virtually for our school
Hmm.
since since Multnomah County pushed back their reopening phase 1 till September.
Right?
So until Multnomah County up their opens up to phase 3, we're gonna be returning back to school.
In phase three, we'll be back in physically.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Or will it
Some
be sort of
restrictions.
some restrictions, a
Yeah, yeah.
hybrid, some
So
okay, okay, only phase three.
yeah, some
Okay.
kids will go back. Some like
Okay,
in
right.
groups.
I know there's a questionnaire going out to parents now asking them what their preferences are. That's interesting. Okay. Um, I want to ask you more specifically, and you answered it a bit like history and French, and we consider those cultural literacy. Do you talk about cultural literacy at school?
Could you give me a definition of literacy?
Okay,
Like I
so
have a small like
do
oh,
you,
I said I have a small understanding of what it is, but could you give me a definition of it?
well, I think I'm not. I would say that my colleague who taught in Silicon Valley schools, she heard the definition cultural literacy, but I don't think it's a widely discussed term. Um, so some pockets they might. So I I say cultural literacy is having the familiarity, uh, the exposure to language, geography of the world. So uh, exposure to um, ideas and interest in humanity like
Mhm.
this, and having a global view, you know, a beginning global view. So the introduction of cultural literacy, and in effects, so that you're open to new and different ways of living, and that you recognize that your way of living isn't the only way of living. Oh, there you go. You muted there. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that to answer that question, we do a lot of that in French. Um, we she makes a point to understand different French French cultures and different things of that nature. Um, we do also do the same in APUSH, which is APUS history.
Uh-huh.
Our teacher, also makes it a point to understand the different cultures when we do world studies during it. While it is a focus on American history, American history doesn't happen without the world because that's a big but yeah, I would say cultural literacy is involved in a lot of our studies and academics. I don't think
Hmm.
studies can go without cultural literacy because, yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. Are you satisfied with the history that you're learning? Or let me ask me what you're getting US history. Is it you're getting AP US history? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm satisfied. Like, I don't know if I guess I guess content isn't the word, but I feel like I already I already do the research on my own, and this probably isn't the case for most students, but I do enough research on my own to understand that the history that we're learning should be questioned and isn't always correct. So while I'm not like satisfied with what I'm like exact what the stuff that I'm learning, I do believe that in order for people to truly understand history or just the studies in general, they have to make their own research. So that's usually what I do. Even if it can be frustrating at times what we're learning, I do understand that this is a textbook and it was made by historians a while ago. So, and they usually have the interest of white men at in stake. So I do understand that.
Mm. What do you wish that students coming up after you would get to learn?
Um, I wish that students after me would be able to learn that um like for me, I think for so for people so I feel like sorry, let me just restate that.
That's all right.
So I
Take your
feel like
time.
for students, I wish that students like would learn that their history isn't the only history and that different things, there's different historical events and different historical actions and situations in which we have to understand that has happened and we have to question the historical impact of them. I also would like students to know that there are there are impactful people in each culture. Um, I'd like them to know that because that was something in which I wasn't able to understand because in today's day and age with the education system just as a whole, I feel like they do a bad job of representing other cultures, not just black culture, but indigenous culture, Native American culture, every other culture. I feel like that's what I want students to know that there's impactful people who um who have had done many historical many historical feats and accomplishments that the history books won't necessarily tell them. And I'm rambling on here, but I think if they knew those things, they'd be inspired because at a young age, if those things were put into their heads and they saw people like them or people who look like them or people with the same color as them doing those things, they could be inspired. Yeah.
I have okay. So Do you think that films from other parts of the world could also help people find those people that you're talking about?
Yes, I definitely do. I feel like with the society that we're in today, social media and just the culture of the internet has taken such a big leap. So like internet is where you find a lot of things, and I feel like the film industry and just streaming services in a whole have been doing a better job of representing those people. Um, I don't know if I don't know if you'll know the film, but there's a film on Netflix called Water. I don't know if it's Waterboy. It's something revolving around an African man who was a child who created a a water pump.
Oh, I know the
And
one you're talking about. Yes,
yeah,
I did
yeah, and
see it, and it was a true story, a young man's story,
yeah,
and he was his parents couldn't pay for education anymore, and so he asked if he could sit in the library, right? And the
yeah, yeah,
teacher,
yeah,
who was his sister's boyfriend, he sort of extorted him very
manipulated.
gently and made him teach on the side. Yeah, I did that. Boy Who Harnessed the Wind.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that was just one of the examples in which I feel like the film industry and streaming services in general have been doing a good job of encompassing different stories and different powerful stories where kids from a young age can watch those and feel inspired and see that those there are people like them or looking like them who do things like that.
Yeah, yeah, who inspired. Name three people that who inspire you that you want young people coming up after you to know about.
Um, all right, three people who inspire me. So the three people who inspire me would most likely be first one being Nelson Mandela.
Mm-hmm.
He was the I was in fifth grade when I was um beginning to do a speech contest, and he was the first speech in which I had chosen. And through studying his speech, because I know he was locked up for 27 years in prison, so I had spoke his I did his speech on the Cape Town Address, and just studying him as a whole and studying that speech, it was just extremely powerful. So that's someone who I look up to
Wow.
because he never compromised his values and beliefs when he had multiple chances in those years to do so. Because
Mm,
I know if I was put in that situation, I don't know what I would do.
yeah.
And then second person definitely would be Patrice Lumumba,
Uh-huh.
um, Congolese revolutionary, the first elected prime minister. While he was assassinated, I
Mm,
feel like he's a testament to the bravery and courage that people can show whilst being under colonization and whilst
mm,
being under oppression. An example of that from him would be when he was giving an address on the Independence Day. There was the country was still under Belgian colonization, but it wasn't titled as that, and there were still Belgian authorities and officers on the land. So he was told people had read his speech, and they pulled him aside while he was speaking, and they said you should change it. But he just responded with, I'm not exact. Don't quote me on this, but I'm not exactly sure with what he responded. But he denied. He declined with changing it, and he went on continuing his speech denouncing the Belgian colonization, and continued to speak that while this is Independence Day, we still aren't actually free until we become our own country. So that's
mm,
someone in which I admire for doing that and many other things.
great, great. Thank you.
Um,
And one more.
one more. Okay, one more. The last person I will say is probably okay. Minister Farrakhan.
Mm.
Um, so I've been looking into more. I've been watching some more of his videos, and I'm hoping I can begin reading some of his books. But I admire him for being extremely eloquent and extremely articulate with what he speaks. He um he was a well known, like extremely well known. He was on many interviews, podcasts, and when he was on the news and when he would speak in interviews, it would be where it would be open to the public. So it would be most African Americans, Caucasians, just multiple people, and it always seemed as though they had a personal agenda to come at him left or right with the questions to make him try and slip.
Mm.
But
Mm.
I think he always the thing that he did really well was he always made sure in which um his point of speech was always directed towards Black liberation, and he never faltered in that, because within all of his videos he makes it a point to be clear that what he's speaking for is basic human rights, and whether people try and come at him for speaking for those things, he tries to make it a point that other people speak these things but aren't persecuted in the same way that he is. But since he is Black, he does come with that criticism, and he does choose to ignore it. Whilst it might be hard, but he chooses to ignore it, and he chooses to speak for Black liberation and his people in general. Um, yeah, I think he does that really well.
Mm. 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 I haven't listened to him lately, but I'm interested to hear how he is responding to the current um, social unrest, and I won't call it unrest. I would say it's inspiration. The current conversation. Yeah, certainly, I certainly disagree with people calling these demonstrations riots. They are not riots, and there are voices who, like Minister Farrakhan's, who has been there for a long time, and the air sort of clears so we can hear him now in times like this. Um, wow, really, really great to hear what you have to say. Those three are wonderful. I'm wondering, how do you engage more young people uh, in looking for their heroes, for the people who inspire them? How do you do that?
Um, so how I engage more young people? I'd probably say, well, I've been um I've been extremely like so I found my voice in middle school, probably of just speaking public speaking and being comfortable with trying to share my story.
Mm.
And so since I got into high school, that's when I became more passionate in making allowing others to be able to share their story and engage. So just a little piece about that. I have um I'm just trying to remember, because I'm trying to see the start of when I began trying to help out. But I think I think it began with being a part of Multnomah Youth Commission. It's just a group of youth who are trying to enable the change of laws for high school students,
Mm.
and in the Portland metro area and surrounding areas. That's where I began my journey with trying to engage other youths.
Mm.
And
Can I ask
in
you what
addition,
some of those laws for high school students are? How are they different?
um, so what we were really trying to push for was the big thing in which when I was there was they were trying to make a budget cut in which didn't have bus passes for Portland public schools.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big thing in which we had to push for, because a lot of students and youth don't have access to cars every day, and their parents are working.
Right.
So that and the bus, yeah, and the bus is just public transit. Yeah, so that
Okay,
was
that's a
something.
big one. That's a big deal. I know
Yeah,
students in Berlin, Germany, up through as long as you're enrolled in a school, even university, they get a year-round bus pass. It makes it easy. They can get to school
yeah,
safely, easily. Doesn't that make sense? But
yeah.
did it happen? Um,
Yeah, they eventually made it so that they weren't able to budget cut it and they still need to fund it. Um, but
Good.
yeah, that's something that they're still fighting for, honestly. Um, and then as well as that, um, I made it a point in which Miras Kulu, I helped us Kulu found the Congo Peace Project. So that was something in which we're able to work together on, and we were able to bring uh, quite a bit of youth in general and to our packaging parties, and we're able to bring youth into our group in which they were able to engage and help the community. And as of now, I'm a part of an organizing group with marches called Fridays for Freedom, and that's something I'm passionate about. And then I'm thinking of, because I'm beginning to work on an internship with other Black men and youth,
Hmm.
called Word is Bond, and I'm thinking with the money I make from that internship, I'm hoping to begin like a podcast in which I'm able to broadcast other people's journeys. The money I make there, I hope to buy podcast equipment and other belongings so that I can broadcast other people's stories.
Very
Yeah,
nice. Very nice. What is the name of the internship group again?
Word is Bond.
We're this bond?
Oh, word is
Word,
Bond.
W-O-R-D, word this bond. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Nice. Oh, word as using word as a verb. Word
yeah, yeah, yeah.
this bond. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. What does it do?
Um, so we it's a group of black men, and we have discourse and dialogue with police officers due to just the unrest and the just distrust of black people with policing. And so that's basically what it do. It helps create a healthy dialogue in which people can understand on both sides what's just why there is so much distrust, and
Mhm.
what we can do to be empathetic towards that and to help it in our own circle and bubble of people.
Very nice. Very nice. So the podcast then would be interviewing some policemen, possibly. Is that right?
I'm not exactly no, I think the podcast for me would hopefully be like interviewing high schoolers around Oregon and sharing their stories. Hopefully, yeah. That's
That's
what I'm
nice.
hoping to do.
That's nice. Would you include any video by chance?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm hoping to do that. Obviously, we'd have to make restriction with the COVID-19 guidelines, but definitely with the podcast, I'm hoping to create a space in which I'm able to interview youth on their journeys through high school and just the struggle they have overcome and faced. Yeah.
Oh, really nice, really nice. Well, Screen 360 TV has uh, a way of showing films. This is also what we hope for filmmakers, that they want to create work for this audience and new current work, stories, but also documentary, so narratives and documentary. And you would submit to us and we would present it on Screen 360 TV to our network of young audiences. Yeah, that's what we hope. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think. Could you state that again? So you said Screen 360 is trying to bring an audience for film. Is that what you said?
So Screen 360 TV is bringing international films to young audiences, right? So
Mm.
because right now, especially, we can't get out to the world to see it and to learn from it in a time when we're more connected to people in the world than ever before. So, to understand more about them, films can help us do that. But we also want to encourage filmmakers to make a film for this audience that wants to see the world, this audience that wants to understand more about the people who are growing up in the world at the same time as they are. We call them international peers, near and far. That's not just people across oceans, but people who are next door to us are our peers. Two people in the neighboring town can be our peers. And like I said, now more than ever before, we have the opportunity to learn from each other, now more than ever before. So, if you were to make a short video, including a document, including an interview, that would be something we could put up on Screen 360 TV.
Wonderful. Yeah, definitely. That'd be definitely something I'd be hoping to do. Yeah, that's definitely something I'd be happy to do, and I'm looking forward to that. Um, yeah, I'm hoping that I can at least have maybe one podcast interview by the end of August.
Okay. Do you know who you're going to do it with yet?
Um, I'm sure I can find someone in my group. I have an idea of people I would like to do it with, though. Yes,
That's nice. You need a crew, you know. Even
yes, I do. Yeah, I do. I definitely do need a
I
crew.
mean, it helps. There are some nice mics just for uh, an iPhone or uh, any kind of you know phone, a smartphone, and that helps. Start just with that. You can get even a $20 mic helps, and it plugs into the headphone jack, and you can clip it on the person you're interviewing and use your phone as the camera, and that helps a lot. It cuts down on the um, the sound around, and the ambient sound, and you get the direct interview. So that helps. On the internet, I think you can find them for $20. I had to buy one for $60, but you can get it better than that. But yeah, yeah. Look at those. I don't have it right by near me, but it really looks like earbuds, and it's a lavalier mic. So look up lavalier mics, and you can find them inexpensively here. Lavalier, and that's probably your single best purchase for starting to podcast. Because you're working right now off a smartphone, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, then it has a pretty good
I'm
picture.
Yeah, and
So
I'm
that,
hoping I can probably get like a better computer in which I can use.
yeah, yeah, but until it's just step by step. You can make your goals like that. One month you'll knock off one goal, and next month you'll knock off another one when you make a little more money. Let me check my questions to see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, I know. International Baccalaureate, going back to curriculum. Do you have IB studies in your school as well as AP?
No. So public schools have IB here in Oregon. Public schools have IB, and private schools have AP.
Oh, that's interesting.
Mm.
And it's down the line like that because I wondered if they could exist together. But you're getting foreign language, and I mean, there are other things that the IB offers besides needing foreign
Yeah,
language.
besides those.
But
Yeah.
do you discuss them with your friends or family, the difference between AP and IB?
Not really. I didn't really question it too much. I questioned it a little bit because obviously when I was about to get into AP classes, that was my question. What was the difference?
Mhm.
But I'm not sure if there's much of a difference, to be honest. I'm pretty sure all of them you're able to receive college credit and you're able to have an advanced pace of learning.
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. So, how many classes are you in now?
With
Oh, no,
Okay,
or
so
you'll have a full day, I suppose. Everybody has a full day of classes, so it's not
yeah,
exactly like college.
so for is it like AP or just all of the classes?
All of the classes.
Oh, all of the classes. I'm in 7 classes.
Mm-hmm.
7 classes. Yeah.
And how many of them are AP?
How many of them are AP? One is AP, and I need to think about this. Um, yeah, one is AP, one is honors, and I'm going to take 3 next year. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Which three are you taking next year?
So I'm hoping to take an uh, AP AP. I forgot the what it was called, but it was something surrounding like laws in the U.S. But I'm going
Oh,
to be taking AP something in history, and
mm.
then I'm going to be taking AP English, and I'm also going to be taking I may take honors with the people, which is a constitution team, but I don't know about that yet. Yeah,
Constitution team.
but
What
I'm
do you
also
do? Yeah.
constitution team is basically where we get like a prompt and we get a prompt and we're assigned a prompt and we're supposed to argue it with the constitution.
Oh, great. Almost
Yeah,
like mock court, isn't it?
yeah.
Oh, that's
um
great.
but yeah, so the 3 ones I'll be taking is AP English, AP Computer Science, and AP something of AP History. I forgot the name.
Yeah, he's a modern world, modern psychology. I don't know. I've got a list of them here. I didn't have AP classes in high school. They weren't even offered, so I didn't know them. But wow, that's great. That's great. I'm glad you have access to those. And you feel challenged by these
Yeah,
classes?
I definitely do feel challenged. Obviously I want to feel challenged, but I don't want to overstep it because I was going to take 2 APs this junior year, and I was going to take 1 honors. Um, but then I chose to talk to my counselor about it, and I chose to do because I am looking forward to college, and I'm looking forward to hopefully trying to get into an elite or prestigious college, as you might say. But I didn't want to overstep it because I am doing other community service actions with different organizations and stuff. So I just chose to take 2 this year, and I'll enroll in 3 next year. I'll just take it
Yeah,
out easy.
that's good. That's good. That's good. And then you have a lot of college applications to do, right?
Yes, yes, I do. Hopefully I could get that done. I even had to uh I already had to apply to a scholarship that was already due, and there's some other scholarships that are due, and I'm going to be applying to those. But yeah.
Good, good, good. So you sounds like you have a good counselor at school.
Yeah, I do have a good counselor. She supports me and the other students.
That's cool. Okay, that's great. My last question for you is, have you learned to swim? Have you and your brothers learned to swim?
I have learned to swim.
You have,
Um,
yes. Okay,
yeah, I've learned to swim. I won't say I'm a great swimmer, but if I'm put in that predicament, I can swim.
good.
Um, but yeah, the the largest feat of pool I've swam in is at um at the Georgetown facility. It was 13 feet, so that was the largest I swam in. Um,
Okay,
but yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You don't have a
My
fear of
brothers
water.
don't know how
That's good.
to. Yeah, I don't have a fear of. Obviously, if it's larger than 20 feet, I'll probably stay away. But like Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's good. You know how to float. That's important. 'Cause I wondered, because that was something that we were very fortunate to get when we were young, and so I wanted to. I know that your mom and my mom are trying to get together, so I thought, well, why don't you come out and come to the Clackamas Cove, and I'll give you some swimming lessons.
Oh yeah, yeah. They would need some. My brothers would need some swimming lessons. I would need some swimming lessons too because I want to get more advanced. But yeah,
Okay. Well, there's a place out here, and there's picnic tables there, and we can go for a swim and have a picnic and stay socially distanced and be
yeah,
outside and getting some water. and, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
nice. I mean, if you all wanted to do that Sunday or in the next couple Sundays, maybe.
Definitely, yeah. That'd be
Yeah.
something
Okay. Mention that to your mom.
I will.
Right. Okay. Well, Manga, we will look forward to next Thursday, and
Mhm.
uh, we'll talk to Asukulu and then the two of you together. Because as much as I love talking to someone one to one, I love to hear dialogue between people who talk to each other a lot.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I,
definitely. Thank you
yeah,
so much for having me and considering me to have an interview.
yeah, no, this was really helpful for us. Thank you, and I want you to keep Screen 360 TV in the back of your mind because we'll need your help when we are launching our pilot, and we would love to present it in your school, maybe at Central Catholic. So
Definitely, definitely.
if there is someone, one of your teachers or principal that we should talk to make a proposal, you could tell me a name. Is there someone that you could tell me
Um,
who to contact?
the principal is Miss Ramsey, so that'd
Mhm.
be probably who you would talk to, Mrs. Ramsey.
Mrs. Ramsey. Okay, check it out. Good. Okay, thanks. You know what? I'm gonna do my 8 minutes and 46 seconds in a little while. I know today's a big day when everybody is at work is taking 8 minutes and 46 seconds, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good. So I applaud you on your work that you're doing and continuing it. I heard Kamala Harris on the news the other night saying it's going to continue and it should continue. So bravo. Good for you for continuing it.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. We'll see you later.
I
See you
also want to
Thursday.
acknowledge everyone else I work with too. Everyone else.
Right. There we are. We do not do these things alone, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Take
Definitely.
care. Bye bye. See you Thursday.